Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, and this is one of my favorite friends. This is a cool cat. She lights up a room with this phenomenal smile of hers, and it's Kristin Fogle. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., and it has been way too long since you've been on the show.
It has been a minute, as the kids probably don't say anymore.
Isn't that right? Well, you're a kid, actually, on this. We're joined by my guest co-host, and that's Isha Walia. She'll be an incoming junior at Northeastern University doing a curiosity ship for Cloudcast Media. For our listeners, know that we don't do internships, we do curiosity ships. Finds out all about podcasting, and she's been on a guest co-host now into her second week with about 4 more to go. You enjoying this?
I'm having a lot of fun.
What do you like the best about it?
I think just getting to talk to so many different guests. Like, everyone just has such unique stories. It's so interesting.
Unique stories and different animals that they love to do. And in fact, speaking about animals, we're going to have in a bearded dragons coming in next week.
Yes. Oh, that's so cool.
You see a bearded dragon and some baby tortoises. They're from the San Diego Animal Sanctuary. And so they promise that the bearded dragon will be caged, so it's not running around attacking Drew. So it's all good. And speaking about animals, right, following you, Kristin, is going to be Dr. Gary Weitzman, the president and CEO of the San Diego Humane Society.
I saw that. That's exciting. They do good work there.
Yeah. Listen, we can, if you hang out long enough and so you can say hi to him, maybe he'll get you a job. Maybe getting some of
petting puppies or something. I'd like that job.
Or animals and maybe start writing their own books. I don't know.
We can try.
Good. Isha, you have a question for Kristin right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about the mission of your organization.
Yeah, absolutely. So San Diego Writers, Inc., we aim to be this kind of literary hub in San Diego, and we do that in a variety of different ways. The most practical aspect is we offer programming free and low cost 7 days a week. So, if you wanted to come on down and learn how to write a novel or do some sort of aspect of craft like character or conflict or something like that, we've got something for everybody, whatever stage you are in your curiosity, if you will.
Yeah, I know. Isha and I were talking offline today, and she's got so many interests and so forth on this. Was working for Deloitte recently in the
one of my employees went there a while ago. Yeah, she was fantastic.
But I think Isha wants to do journalism. Is that right?
I do. I think I'm coming more over to this route.
Cool. Yeah, I was a former magazine editor, and it was a lot of fun. So.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, there's never a dull moment in this. Like there's none in your world. Kristin, you've been on the shows for a minimum of 5 years because your son is now 5 years old.
I know.
In this aspect of, I can't believe how fast it has gone. But talk about the interest in writing. We have a lot of your friends and colleagues that come on the show because we really can't talk about it enough. And would you consider San Diego a good author's town? Is it a good writer's town?
Yeah, absolutely.
And why would you say that?
We just have so much talent here. And I mean, San Diego is beautiful and amazing, so obviously it's going to attract a lot of amazing creative folks.
Right.
And we just have a lot of opportunity here. I think it's a great writer town. Right.
And, and there's a lot of workshops and so forth. And haven't seen my good friend Jilly Bean Hall in a while.
Yeah.
But she's on her 4th novel. Is that right?
She is working hard.
I know she is. And doing a lot of research on that aspect as well. Talk about your 17th anthology.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we do this anthology every single year. It usually opens up in about June, July. So we just opened our submissions now. People can submit for a month. And so if you are a new author or if you are a seasoned author, it doesn't matter. It's a blind submission process. So it goes in with everybody. And we have these editors that cull through them and rank them. And we usually get about anywhere from 300 to 400 submissions. Could be poetry, could be memoir, could be fiction, doesn't matter. There is a word count of 1,500 words.
I was going to say, right.
Yeah, I've shortened it over the years so that we can include more people.
Sure.
Because that was one of the things when I came in. We have no duplicate sort of authors. So there are about 40 to 45 authors that can be in the anthology.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And so it's just a great way to get your work read. And
Right.
so we're very excited about it. I was admitted to the last one.
Nice. What
for the first
was
time.
yours? A memoir?
Mine was a poem. It's a little dark. It's,
Very interesting, very dark, and Kristin usually go together on this.
Yeah, I know.
It's a side of you I don't know.
I know.
Exactly. What was the poem about, can I ask?
Yeah, I mean, it's about gun violence in schools, so that's why it's a little dark. So it's
Yeah.
about my son, and it has kind of a twist. Yeah, I'll share.
Yeah.
The San Diegans for Gun Violence Prevention actually picked it up and put it on their blog
Nice.
now, so it's there if anybody wants to read it. It's one mother's perspective.
Yeah. Well, we need about 4,000 mothers' perspective,
Yeah.
and fathers and aunts and uncles and everybody in between in that issue. So with the anthology, if you only have, if someone submitted a poem and a memoir and a whatever, you only choose them once, correct?
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
right.
So-
But they can be multiple. They could have been in the year before.
They can be in the year before. This can be their very first time. They just
Right.
need some sort of connection to San Diego. And honestly, I'm not being that strict about it, so I don't really care what your connection to San Diego is. Just go ahead and submit. I'd love to get some people in there. And you can submit up to 7 times, so you can submit in all different categories if you'd like.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the very end, when we select the favorites, then we look at the authors and make sure that there's just one submission per person.
Right. We're chatting with Kristin Fogle. She's the executive director of the San Diego Writers Inc. I'm Drew Schlosberg, as you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 17th year, and we're broadcast at the Mission Fed Studios here in Scripps Ranch, and Mission Federal Credit Union continues to do great things in our community, as they have for more than 60 years. Joined by my guest co-host, Isha Walia, a incoming junior at Northeastern University back in Boston. What's the weather like in Boston now that you're enjoying San Diego weather for at least the summer?
Ooh, honestly, it doesn't compare to here at all.
Right. Has it been tough? The winters have been tough back there?
The winters have been very tough. I think that's the biggest adjustment of going to school out there.
Right, exactly. It's because you have to use ice scrapers for your car now if you're driving around, or are you allowed to? Do you have a car?
No, I'm walking a lot.
That's right. There's great transit, on this.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
You know what? That brings up a very good point. The answer is yes, you can. You should come when Isha's done with her interviewing over here, because I know you're interested in doing your own podcast.
Yeah, Charles and I have been talking about it.
Is
Yes.
that right?
Yep.
Okay, very good. You should come in and co-host a couple shows.
I would love it. I have so many questions for days, and I love education. So I'm like, what made you choose Northeastern? Maybe you've talked about that on here, but I'm just curious because I love college.
Yeah, definitely. So Northeastern has this program. It's called the Co-op program.
Okay.
And it's basically where while you're in school, you do like 2 full-time 6-month internships.
Okay.
Instead of like taking classes, and like counts towards your graduation. So it's just a great way to kind of figure out what you want to do. And that's why I went there, because I'm kind of deciding between business and journalism. So it's let me do an internship like in the business world and kind of figure out if that's for me. And now I have another opportunity to do another one. So it's just a great way to kind of figure out what I want before I graduate.
So interesting. Kind of reminds me of the project-based learning. So we get a lot of high-tech high students that come in and things
Right.
like that. And they're really able to figure out what they want to do. Because I think that's one of the things about in high school and college, you don't know what you want to do.
Exactly.
You have no idea.
Well, it's interesting you bring this up, and I'm not sure if you know this about me, Kristin. I worked for San Diego Unified, journalism, sports writer, worked for the school district developing curriculum, focusing on the newspaper, and then back to the Union Tribune when you and I first met. But one of the things I've always been interested in, and we started this maybe 30 plus years ago at San Diego Unified, was a program called Pipeline 616. And it was a pathway from grade 6 through 16, because we don't know what we want to do. We may change 15 times on the way out there.
Absolutely. And I have.
Well, everybody has,
Right.
to an extent. And, heaven forbid we actually teach relevance in the curriculum.
Yes.
And we all know this, that since people were walking upright, when you motivate someone to do something, it's amazing how far they reach for the stars.
Right.
Why we sit there and let's make education dull. And you may know, we've had many phenomenal teachers. The phenomenal ones don't make it dull. So they take something and do this. But I think what's finally starting to happen over the last 15, 20 years, and some good teachers have been doing it forever, is listen, what do you want to learn? What are you interested in? Instead of us telling you, you should learn X. Really, I should learn X. Why? I have no interest in X. So let me just go ahead and stab myself because I don't want to do this.
Absolutely.
One of the beauties of what you do is right in the wheelhouse. Tell me what you want to do. What do you want to write? What are you interested in? When you expose them to poetry or to memoirs or to something like that. And I think it's opened up a whole world on that. I know you got another question for Kristin.
Yeah, tell us about your upcoming poetry certificate.
Yeah, so the poetry certificate is taught by Ron Salisbury, who is San Diego's poet laureate, former poet laureate. He's fantastic. Everybody wants to work with him, and he works with us. And he works with other people too, but I'm taking him as one of our own. And so starting next month, he will be teaching 2 rounds of the poetry certificate. So like I said, you can drop in for programming and things like that. This is more of a commitment. So if you wanted to learn the nuts and bolts of poetry all the way to doing your own manuscript for 1 year.
Wow.
He does 5 6-week classes. So you could do it online on Saturdays in the afternoon, or you can do it in person at our Space and Liberty station in the morning. And you do that for a year with Ron in community with your fellow poets.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great way to learn, especially.
I know, I keep wanting to do it. I'm like, one of these days I'm going to do it. And so maybe this year, we'll see.
Yeah. Isha, you like writing poetry?
I don't have a lot of experience in it, but I'd love to.
Yeah, I have none, and I must admit, I had a creative writing class in college, and they forced us to write poetry, and the word was forced. And of course, I wrote absolutely the most insane, ridiculous. I mean, the fact that I didn't burn it on the spot and said, "Don't ever do this. Just stick to your sports writing, and that's it. That's fine." Kristin, when we come back from break, I know Isha's got some questions for you on some of the, what the Drop in Writing programs is about. I want to talk to you about, First Fridays and so forth, and then most importantly, how we can get our listeners engaged with what we do. Does that sound like a plan?
Looking forward to it.
Very good. We'll be right back with Kristin Fogle. She is the executive director of the San Diego Writers Inc. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. This wonderful Scripps Ranch Studios, Mission Fed, doing cool things for San Diegans for more than 60 years. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year. And we are broadcasting the Mission Fed Studios and Scripps Ranch, and Mission Federal Credit Union continues to do great things for San Diegans. For more than 60 years, we're joined by one of my favorite guests, Kristin Fogle.
Stop it,
Director.
go on.
Yeah, exactly. She makes me say this, folks, all the time. Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc., and joined by my guest co-host, Isha Walia, who's just killing it. She'll be an incoming junior at Northeastern University. Isha.
Yes. Tell us about Drop in Writing program.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we have a couple that are coming up. We went on hiatus for summer. And starting Monday and Thursday, we will have Room to Write, which is just a drop-in right at our space program. So Mondays and Thursdays, every Monday and Thursday, you can come to Liberty Station. We're in Barracks 16, and 10:30 to 12:30, just sit and write in community with other people. So we are not your kitchen table. Hopefully we can motivate you a little bit. And then if you come Monday morning, we have a drop-in writing prompt program. So that's at 9:30. I think it's $7 to join. We give you a prompt, and then you can write to something specifically. And again, hopefully you stick around for Room to Write to write with your fellow peers. So that's just 2 of them.
So when you write and you do the thing here's the prompt, okay? The prompt is who's buried in Grant's tomb or whatever.
That's great. I'm going to use that.
You should use it.
I will.
Because, my friend always goes, Mr. and Mrs. Grant. I go, really? How do you know that? Then once they do that, do they turn it in for review? Do they just keep it because they just accomplish something?
Great question. So we have a few different drop-in writing prompt groups, both online and in person. And they follow the same sort of format. So we read the rules for writing, which are just lovely little suggestions taken from Natalie Goldberg's books and added to by writing practitioners. And then you get the prompt, you write for about 17 minutes. When you're done, you can share or not share, but we really just encourage people to just share. It's not going to be the most amazing thing you've ever written, but that's part of the process.
Sure.
It helps us get better. It helps us be in community with each other.
Right.
So it kind of follows that format. And you can read all or a part. And I'll also say with the prompt writing too, is people think that they have to stick to a topic. We were talking about education.
Right.
I think sometimes we beat the love out of writing in education,
Exactly.
unfortunately. So you don't have to stick with it. It's just a suggestion. If the
100%.
prompt is Grant's tomb and you start talking about your grandmother's flowers, awesome. Like the point is not to stay on topic. It's just to write.
Right, and I think one of the things that when I was developing curriculum, and I still have a curriculum business, been doing it for 17 years.
You have so many hats. You are so good at so many things, Drew.
I'm not good at anything. I just have a lot of things I'm doing and all that business. So, but very, very kind for you to say that. But the guy I work with, my colleague on this, and he always just said, just get words on paper.
Yep.
It doesn't make a difference. They may be gobbledygook when you come back to it an hour later. But if you don't, and you just stare at that paper, nothing happens. Okay?
You can't edit nothing.
Correct. 100%. So get words on paper. I've always been telling people that. Put words on paper. You can refine it. You can throw it away. You can do whatever you want with it in that aspect of it. What's First Fridays at Liberty Station?
What is First Friday? First Friday is a good time to come on down to Liberty Station.
Yeah.
So we have a ton of art galleries and nonprofits and museums and just great people doing great things. And so everything's open for the most part. So you can wander through the barracks. There's usually music and some food, and you can come and see us. We do a poetry reading every first Friday. So at 5:15, I usually invite 3 poets to come read their work.
Wow.
Okay.
Liberty Station has funded this next one, and I'm hoping that they'll fund them going forward. So, as you know, writers and poets, they don't get paid enough. So I'm hoping to
100%.
give them a little bit of an incentive to come write for us. And they've been packed. So 5:15 to 6 o'clock. Afterwards, we have an art show that we do. So we do a quarterly art show. This one that we're doing is called Electric Womb. It's a very female, feminine-based show, and it's lovely. It's a group show, so I think we have about 10 to 12 different people. Many of them are Writers Inc. folk, so you can come and see that. The next art show that we have coming up October through December is from a Ukrainian artist that I met. She's a refugee. She was painting all of these sunflowers, large scale. And so I invited her to come to the space and make some money, and we'll donate some to the efforts in the Ukraine as well.
Oh, wow.
So
Very cool.
Yeah, that's a little bit about First Friday. It's awesome. It's a good way to come and get your art on.
No, you guys have just so much great things going on there, and it's all about connections. It's about relationships, and writing is about all of that. Isha?
Yeah, tell us about a story that makes you proud of your organization.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
You got 3 hours.
I've got 3 hours. I don't know. I'm proud of so much. I mean, this isn't the most amazing thing, but I'm so happy we weathered the pandemic and that we have just thrived through it. So, I'm so proud of us, and I'm proud of everybody learning how to learn online, and that we've gathered so many people from, we had people in Portugal and the East Coast, and just so our community has just expanded through this global travesty. So
Right.
I'm proud of where we are and how we thrived through that.
So, as we've talked to a lot of folks on, especially when they were coming out of the pandemic, but, listen, it almost seems like it was just yesterday. And as you know, we have a resurgence
Right.
on this stuff going on with COVID. But it was amazing how many people said, you know what, I learned a lot about what I can do in my business now.
Yes.
And listen, certainly there's nothing that beats face-to-face. We all know that. There's some very good things about Zoom and when you can't get face-to-face. But it's a human interaction. We know that,
Yes.
in that. But are you still doing the online stuff?
We are probably more doing the online than we are the in-person because there are groups like we do read and critique groups. So
That's
these
right.
are folks that come together weekly
Right.
or monthly to
Right.
workshop
Right.
their works in progress.
Right.
People that have things and want some feedback. And those people can't get out of their pajamas and come to the center. I mean, they're just never coming back. They love doing it online and I think they're just going to stay there. So
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting about this, and maybe you can talk about it. I know Isha's got a couple questions for you, but when you give people feedback, whether it's on what their poem and their memoir, a lot of it is on the nonverbal communication because you look at their eyes, you look at their body, movements and all that business. How much is lost because you really can't see that via Zoom?
I mean,
Or is it not a big deal?
well, it's not performance, right? So I did
Yeah.
my other side is the theater realm,
Right.
and so it
Right.
vastly affected the theater realm. A
100%.
lot was lost. We went from theater to film essentially.
100%.
For writers, I mean, you're dealing with the written word. So
Yeah, right.
at the end of the day, it's something that is going to be printed. So, I mean, I don't think that aspect, unless you're doing a class on the performance, performative poetry or something like that, it still works. Nothing beats that connection that you get, just
That's
the
right.
energy in a
Right.
room.
Right.
But I mean, you can still do quite a bit via Zoom. So we're lucky that we can do that.
No, that's very true. Isha?
Yeah, I'd love to know, do you have any advice for young or for new writers? I think sometimes it can be a little daunting when you're kind of just getting started. So what's your advice?
Yeah, I think just not to put pressure on yourself. So when people come to class, so I'm wearing this Word Rebel
Beautiful shirt.
shirt.
Love
Thank you
it.
so much. So it comes from my first book, which is Dare to Write Creative Writing Prompts for young people and word rebels everywhere. And so I wear the Word Rebel shirt when I go to stuff. But I tell them, I just worked with the Girl Scouts last week or the week before, and I tell them, we don't call ourselves writers enough. You say you're a soccer player, or I do yoga, or do this. We're so hesitant to say, I'm a writer. And so I say a word rebel is anyone that is audacious enough to put words on a page. That's it. I don't care how often you write. I don't know how good it is. I don't care. You are a writer. You are someone that writes. I don't care if you do it once a month. So just doing the thing and getting over this hump, which we talked about with education, like we just need to get in the classroom and say, just write. And I'm not going to grade it for the first several years, maybe. I don't know what the answer is, but just putting the pressure, taking the pressure off of that, I think is first and foremost.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things, and I think I've told the story before. I'm not sure if you've heard this, Kristin, but when I was taking a journalism class, I became a sports writer. I remember my professor at San Diego State, first day, we had to write something, and the next day I got mine back. It said, F-, have you ever written before?
Wow.
And of course, my toupee went flying off. I don't have a toupee, but if I had one.
But if you did, by golly, be on the floor across the room.
It would be across the room. And I'm in there breathing fire, and I go, what are you talking about? I've been writing for school papers. I've been writing since blah, 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 blah. And he goes, you've not been writing journalism way, but you did this, and that's an automatic F-. He became my favorite professor.
Yeah.
By far and away. But when you get that first F-, and so it's something that we talk about all the time. You need to learn how to accept criticism.
Yes. Yes.
As anybody for that matter, but especially as a writer, correct? If you're thin-skinned, that's the wrong profession.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's this balance of just being very encouraging and open as an instructor, but also, I mean, I have emails. Some of the worst emails I've ever received are pinned up, in my office, just, or on my computer to just say, all right, you survived this, you're good. And like, what lesson did we take from this? And is there value in this? Yes. So I agree with you. Learning, not getting scared by that. It's all learning tools.
100%. And how many great writers have been turned down? I mean,
Right.
In Cold Blood was turned down, 22 publishers before 23 hit or something like that.
Yeah.
And so forth on it. Got a final question for Kristin?
Yes. How can our listeners support you?
How can they support me? How can I support them? I want them to come to the site. We have a beautiful brand new site. It's at writeyoursstorynow.org. You can also find us at sandiegowriters.org. So either writeyoursstorynow.org or sandiegowriters.org. And just come out to an event. Come to a First Friday. Come to a class. I'm very easy to find on there. Ask me a writing question. I want to support them.
Love it.
Yeah, she is very, very approachable and supportive and all that, and that's why we love having her on. So promise me you will, when you have the time, you can co-host some shows with me.
I would love. My kid's in school now. I've got this time. I'm open. I would love to come see you more than once a year.
I would love that too. Listen, so Isha's going to be doing this through September 1, and you're more than welcome.
So September 2?
September.
I'll be there.
September
with
1 when
coffee.
she's done. No, but in all seriousness, we'd love to have you come in, and anytime you want, I'm here every Friday.
I'd love it.
And,
I would love
do
it.
that as well. And I know you're excited about exploring your own podcast. And listen, wishing you nothing great success. From the time I met you, 5 years ago, what a great vibe you have, and the people you
Thank
work
you.
with, and you're going to continue to be in a skyrocket, and we want to be there with you, shoulder to shoulder.
Well, come on board. And it was lovely to meet you. And yay, just love all of the college things. So best of luck with everything.
Thank you. It's lovely to meet you as well.
Thanks.
Absolutely. We've been chatting with Kristin Fogle. She's the Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc. I'm Drew Schlosberg. As you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year, broadcast by Mission Fed Studios here. Mission Fed's been doing great things in our community for 60 years, and Isha Walia, another great interview, and with a very vibrant guest on this, and we'll look forward to the next one. How's that sound?
Awesome.
Very good. Hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.